Hello, everyone. My name is TrupsLP. The Lord Moistness has been so kind as to grant me an audience with you fine folks, so that in addition to Moisky Live live streams on Fridays, you guys can get a taste of my content that I provide over on my channel. That being said, let us tackle today's topic, and that is the removal of morality and ethics from modern politics. Now, don't get me wrong. Most of you listening will probably say, yes, Trups, we already knew that. But I want to take you in depth and really get into where the morality of one side comes from, and where the other side throws it away. So firstly, let's talk about free speech. As I, from America, free speech is enshrined in our Constitution. It is our First Amendment in the Bill of Rights, and it comes with multiple forms of said free speech, including press, religion, assembly, etc. Many conservatives in America, Republican or otherwise, agree with these constitutional ideals whether they like them or not. That is not to say that all of them do, but a good amount do to be able to say that it is a healthy majority. We see this most clearly in the battle for free speech on college campuses in the United States. We see this article from the New York Times reporting from back in March that Donald Trump signed an executive order attempting to restrict university officials from infringing on free speech rights of students, regardless of private institution or otherwise. Now, this goes against the fiscal conservative view of individual rights to refuse service, but free speech takes priority over this. Now, why was this important in the first place? Well, due to the ongoing refusal to allow conservative speakers on campus by several well-known universities, for example, UCLA Berkeley having massive protests in response to Milo Yiannopoulos and Ben Shapiro appearances, some of which escalated to the point where individuals have been arrested for assault and property damage. Specifically, we know of a story of a professor, Mr. Eric Clanton, who beat several over the head with a bike lock, one of whom required 5 staples in his head from the injury. So, what does this have to do with morality and ethics? Well, protests happen on the conservative side too. Everyone knows the Westboro Baptist Church and their asinine protests, but very few times do those words escalate to more than just signs and shouting. There is very little violence from those protesters. Now, why is that? It's because, by and large, the centrists and right-leaning folks believe in not attacking people for their views. This is an ethical and moral value they hold. Contrast that with what I have told you about Berkeley. A professor beat several people over the head with a bike lock in a mask for voicing opposing opinions. Don't believe me? Here's a clip.
Go on, right? You go right?
Go ahead.
You go.
I'm filming you.
I'm going to hurt you.
Because you have a mask on. Oh, shit.
That's free speech at work. Now, interestingly enough, the UK has had a slew of similar problems with free speech and individuals posting/saying incorrect things as prescribed by the new social world order that has gotten them attacked. In the cases of Nigel Farage and Sargon Avocad, this manifested as milkshakes. Tommy too, but he is a little different. This is free speech being stifled by, albeit minor assault, but assault nonetheless. Now, eggs have also been used to show such disapproval, more recently on Tommy himself. Eventually, some of those food items became bricks. However, to illustrate my point almost to the letter, Jeremy Corbyn had the fellow who egged him arrested, and the guy ended up serving 28 days in jail because of it. Now, as you can gather, one of these responses of being assaulted with food items is drastically different than the other. While the guy who milkshaked Tommy got hit a few times before he scurried away, and most others were wrestled away and taken from the area, that was the end of it. But for Corbyn, no. Someone needed to make an example of the guy who egged him, and the power of the establishment gave him such an opportunity. See, whereas everybody but the regressive left agree that one's ideas should stand on their own and on their own merits, the regressive side of politics appeared to be under the impression that a person's ideas, if quote-unquote dangerous enough, warrant an assault to prevent such ideas from continuing to permeate through society. Now, this is but one example in terms of morality and ethics. I could also say that conservatives believe in the right to defend oneself against a threat, whether that be British or American. A person should be able to defend themselves. As an American, I would like a firearm to do so. It is the Second Amendment in our Bill of Rights to be able to own and possess a firearm as confirmed by the U.S. Supreme Court. It is why you sometimes see right-wingers also fighting in the protests that have been going on through the news. They believe in defending themselves, but I personally have yet to see anyone but a masked progressive start a battle. If you have more evidence of the other side starting it, please feel free to let me know where to find such a thing. However, the regressives also believe that you, as an individual, should not have the right to defend yourself. In America, we see that in certain politicians pushing for a massive gun reform effort. In the UK, you see it in the London knife laws. You are not allowed to personally own weapons to defend yourself with, but the people who make those rules certainly are, because they are better than us. Of course, they would never come out and say it, but that is essentially the message that they are sending. Their lives are worth defending. Yours, well, you can wait 15 minutes for the cops to show up, can't you? There is inherent bias and hypocrisy in the ideas that the far left try to push on the rest of society as moral and ethical good, while at the same time acting in staunch opposition to the very same rules they would have imposed on the rest of us. And quite frankly, it is sickening. But that is all I have for you today. I would ask that if you liked my content, please come by my channel and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers before June 22nd as a personal goal, and any help would be much appreciated. I would also like to thank Omegon for giving me this opportunity to make a video for his channel. It honestly is a great honor. But I hope you all have a good one, and I will see you all soon.